Hi everybody, I hope you're having a great day, a great week, and I'm so happy to be back here with you again. I was giving some thought today and just kind of had this revelation, this really helpful analogy that I'm hoping will help you too. So one of the things that you may hear a lot about is mindfulness. And some people immediately translate that to meditation, which sounds like, oh, very heavy and very like out there and something that sounds exhausting and like I wouldn't be any good at. I get it. But I'm going to describe mindfulness, and I'll define it more as just awareness of what is happening in your mind a little bit differently today using this analogy. So think of it like you are the owner of your own private movie theater. And whatever is projected on the screen is whatever is going through your mind. And sometimes we kind of sit in the audience of that theater and think, oh my God, they're playing this movie again. It's the worst, or this is so scary. I came here for a comedy and here I am in a horror story. One of the big revelations is you are in charge of what is played in your movie theater. So it could be a happy ending, feel-good number, or it could be a horror show that you've seen time and time again. Sometimes I think we feel like we're kind of strapped in the seat and we just have to like watch what's on the screen. You are actually the person at the projector deciding what story you're going to tune into right now. And mindfulness usually is an exercise of just, bringing you back to like me right now. You're outside, it's a little misty. You see the green grass and the trees. This is what's real right now. Now, if I'm on my walk and I start like zoning out, that could be me putting something else in the projector about something that happened yesterday, or a fantasy movie about what may happen tonight. But actually, it's my choice to decide that I'm going to tune out from the scenery around me, the smell of the air, and tune into a movie that I decide to play. And again, it could be one I've seen before or one that I'm making up on the fly. So that's one way to think about it. And another is, no matter what the movie is that you're playing, whether it's from your past, your future, or even the right now, as I sit here outside, you're also in charge of the soundtrack. And yes, I love music. If your mind's jumping there, music is such a great thing. There's so much evidence of just popping on a song can totally change your mood. But I tell it to you like this and describe it as a soundtrack. So whatever movie you're playing, the choice of soundtrack, as you know, is so important. So it could be a pretty bumpy set of events that's playing in that movie, but if they put funny music to it, all of a sudden it becomes pretty light and you realize, oh, okay, the main character is going to get through whatever this silliness is, nothing to fear. Versus if they put on that scary soundtrack where you're like on the edge of your seat, like, oh no, what's going to happen next? Are they going to make it? You're in charge of your soundtrack, whether that's on something that's happening right now. Am I picturing like beautiful, happy music as I take my walk? Or maybe it's, exhausting. Oh, here's another day of drudgery taking my walk. That can all be inspired by the soundtrack, which I'm deciding in my mind to play over what's happening. And the same thing goes for that movie that you may know so well as like the horror or the nightmare or the hardship story from your past. Decide what soundtrack you're playing over it. Is it that, terror movie soundtrack, or is it one of perseverance and overcoming these hardships to come out even better on the other side? You know what music I'm talking about, any of those inspirational, like pump your fist in the air type of soundtracks. You can decide that if you need to replay a story of something that's already happened. And you can start to see the wonder in, while it may not have felt great at the time, I know the main character makes it through this. Because of the soundtrack, I know better things are on the other side. So, that is my suggestion today, is just think about this whole mindfulness deal as you and your personal movie theater. It's playing in your mind. You're in charge of. Are we taking a movie from the past? A fictional one from the future that may or may not happen? Or are you tuning in to the movie that's playing right now in your life? Here I am sitting outside. That's up to you. Second choice you have is what soundtrack to play over it. Is it the, sad, lonely soundtrack as I walk on this misty day on the path alone? Or is it feel good, taking care of my health, getting a moment of solitude, happy music playing? That's up to you, my friends. So tell me what movie you're choosing for today and what soundtrack you're choosing for today and how it's worked out for you. I'd love to hear from you. Wishing you wellness today and always until we speak again.